Awesome, folks. Well, welcome back. If you just drop a P in the chat box and let me know that you are present and ready to go, that would be great. Really appreciate that. Awesome. Thanks, Park Lee. Thank you, Alicia. Thank you. And I'll just wait for a few more P's in the chat box. Awesome. Thanks, Matt. Thank you, Mark. Excellent. Thank you, Eileen. Excellent. Fantastic, folks. So thank you so much. If you, I know it's going to be a weird thing to say, but if you ever see me sweating, it's just because there's no aircon going on in my part of the world at the moment. So that's just all that's going on for me. So on that note, welcome back. And drop a V for value. If you got some value from that whole conversation around the learning pyramid and the cone of learning there, because for me, when I heard that, that completely blew my mind. And it really encouraged me to start looking at research into accelerated learning. And for me, I'm like, okay, cool. If I want to teach people, all right, how do I teach them even faster and get the message across even faster? And I started to look into accelerated learning, influence, motivation, psychology, and it just set me down on a great rabbit hole and just really got me curious. How do I make it even more memorable? And we'll talk about more of that tomorrow. But cone of learning, it was a game changer for me. And we've had people that have printed off that slide, or they've gone to Google, looked up learn of cone of learning, printed it off, and they've had that in their training room, or they've at least had the conversation with other people around them there. So on that note, let's come to the old Moodle here. Let's come to Moodle, and let's bring this up here for just a moment. And just drop a yes in the chat box if you can see the old Moodle. And just drop a yes if you can see my screen. And once I got some yeses, then I'll go on. Yeah, beautiful. Thanks, Matt. So your Moodle's not going to look like this. I've certainly got a lot more courses on my screen, but your screen will look something like this. Now, I know that we got a couple of participants that are yet to get access, and that's okay. I think things are working on in the background there. But basically, I just wanted to give you a bit of a tour so that you know what's going on here. So we've got TAE 40122, the virtual bit. And then when you come into it on the left-hand side, you should be able to see a list of the topics or the, I guess, assessment areas and the tasks that you'll be doing as part of this course. Okay, so in this workshop one, we're going to be covering off working in the vet sector and designing training. Working in the vet sector and designing training. Working in the vet sector and designing training. Now, when you come over to the left-hand side here, we've got knowledge assessment. All right. Now, for this workshop, workshop one, you will be completing the knowledge assessment for this section here, working in the vet sector, and also the knowledge assessment for the designing training. Just drop a yes if you're following me so far. So we got knowledge assessment for working in the vet sector, and then knowledge for the design training there. And then we've got practical project. I'll talk about that in just a second. We got the knowledge assessment. All right. So the knowledge assessment is actually self-marking quiz. It's a self-marking quiz. So what that means is, and I'll give you a preview of it in just a moment. What it means is that once you submit your attempt, the system marks it for you, all right? Then you receive a report of the questions that you got right and the questions that you got wrong and that you need to fix up, all right? Now, with the quiz, you get 2 attempts. Just so that we lock that in, everyone drop the number 2 in the chat box there for me if you could, please. You get 2 attempts. So you're going to do the first one, and then you kind of maybe get it all right. Happy days, great. Or you may mess up a couple of questions. That's okay. And then you come back and do it a second time, and you get the second one correct, maybe. But hypothetically, if on the second go you still get a couple of wrong, guess what? Stay calm, stay calm, stay calm. And just take a deep breath and go, it's going to be okay. And you're going to reach out to me, or I may spot it. You're going to reach out to me and say, Mark, I need help. The second attempt wasn't able to be successful. Then what I'll do is I'll go into it. I'll contact you, and we'll be able to rectify your answers together, if that makes sense there. All right. Now, I'm coming and looking at the actual quiz here. I'm going to click on continue the last preview. And yours will look slightly different, but it's pretty much exactly the same with the questions, but just slightly different in the design because I've got trainer view, you've got student view. Now, what we are looking at here is these short answer questions, and basically they are drop-down boxes, and you basically just mix and match the answers and put it all together here. So which of the two components will directly impact your role as a practitioner? Well, you just choose the one that would be relevant and appropriate, all right? So we've got drop-down answers, and then we've got drag and drop, all right? So you can drag the answer to wherever it may be there, all right? And you've got a couple of different styles of questions there. So that is basically what it looks like. And then you go next page, next page, next page, and then you click save or submit your answers, and it will submit your answers there. Now, as I said, you've got 2 attempts, and after the first attempt, it gives you a report of what you got right and wrong. Now, one of the reasons that we did this is drop a yes if you've heard of ChatGPT. Drop a yes in the chat box if you've heard of ChatGPT and artificial intelligence. Drop a yes if you've heard of artificial intelligence. Beautiful. So one of the challenges that we faced was that ChatGPT came out, and we actually had students that would copy and paste the question, and they would drop it straight into ChatGPT. And we found that ChatGPT was quite smart and was actually getting the answers. And it was great, but we just were not able to know if the students really knew the answers. So we shifted from short answer questions to this modality and this way of assessing, and we found that it's worked really, really well. So just know that you do your first step, then you get a report about what's right, what's wrong, and you can go back and re-look at what you've done then, all right? So if you could just drop a smiley face in the chat box, that kind of makes sense, and I'll certainly take questions as they ever come up, but basically just, drop down and artificial intelligence, all that fun stuff there. So, yeah, cool. So now we'll come over and what was I going to mention next? Soft copy of your textbook. So if you come to Moodle, there is a soft copy of your textbook there as well. So you can certainly access that, and it's online. And we may have already also sent you out a hard copy of the textbook. And if there's any delays on that, it's just Australia Post. And when you enrolled, when you didn't enroll, and all that fun stuff. So that's that. And you'll be able to gather your answers for the short answer questions from looking at the textbook or from the content that I teach you. But the knowledge assessment, that's done in your own time. And we don't really do it in class because it gets very dry very quickly. It's like, all right, let's drag this here and, click that one. And it just gets dry very quickly. So I prefer that you guys just have a go and then get your report and adjust your answers as necessary, then do it again and get that 100%. So then we're going to come down and we're going to check out our practical project here, our practical project. And yesterday, I walked you through something. I walked you through the PD plan. PD plan. I know it's a bit of a leading question, a bit of a stupid question, but I just want to make sure everyone's following along. Drop a yes in the chat box if you remember doing the PD plan there, doing the PD plan. Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Parkley. All right, fantastic. So yesterday we did the PD plan. Now, when you are complete on the PD plan, you are going to upload it to this section here. You're going to upload it to this section here. And basically, you click on Practical Project. And then on your screen, when you look at it as a student, it will say, Add Submission. Add Submission. So what do? Well, basically, you drag the file from your desktop and you drag it into here, and then you click upload. All right. So it's fairly simple. And basically, you just click add submission, and then you drag and drop the file, and then you click submit. All right. And that's pretty much all you need to do. Having said that, Moodle is an interesting entity and interesting organism. And what I always say to all of my students is send Mark an email. Send Mark an email anytime that you upload something to Moodle, because sometimes for some courses, in some contexts, I don't always get a notification that you've actually completed something. hopefully that makes sense there. So if you upload your PD plan, send me an email saying, Mark, uploaded my PD plan. All right. Does it need to have our signature on the PD plan, Parkley? Basically, your initials are fine. Your initials are fine. Or you can in Word, I think there is a little pen that you can choose, and you can put your squiggly initial. You can save it as a PDF and do it that way, or you can just have your initials. Or what I will often do is, in my case, I'll put M.Miles, and I'll use that as my signature there. Basically, there's a little bit of flexibility around that, but at the end of the day, just make sure there's something in there that would kind of indicate you or highlight you as a real person. Does that make sense, Barclay? Just make it different to your first name, last name. Does that help, Barclay? I'll wait till you respond in the chat box. Does that help? Yeah, awesome. Thank you, Alicia. Awesome. All right, cool. Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, excellent. So, on that note, having said that, we got the PD plan, but can we submit it yet? No, we can't, because in this project, practical project here, there is one other thing that we're actually going to complete. And once you've completed that thing, then we can upload to here. All right. Now, earlier I sent you through an email. Cool, thanks. I sent you through an email in the last 3 minutes or so, and the email was called Trainer Matrix Docs. Trainer Matrix Docs. Could you drop a got it into the chat box if you got the document called Trainer Matrix? If you got the document called Trainer Matrix in your email there, could you just type a got it, and then I'll know that you've got the email there. And if we need to wait for everyone to grab that email, that's okay. Awesome, Parkley, no problem. I will send again. Yeah, no problem at all, Parkley. No problem at all. Yeah, Parkley, awesome. And I just sent you so I think, yeah, there's a couple of people that got personal, a couple of people that have got work. Either is fine. And
sorry, Miles, I didn't get it.
Yeah, no problem. It'll come through. It'll come through. Okay. Blue pill, I like it, Matt. Yes. Leaving the Matrix. I like it. I get the joke now. I get the joke. I'm in the Matrix. To blue pill, beautiful. What? Sometimes when there's attachments, emails can take a little bit longer. That's totally fine. Okay. And as we are waiting for that email to come through, I'm just going to talk for a moment. Let me just do that. Awesome. So as you guys watch your email addresses, your email box, we'll have a quick chat, and we'll just walk through the document. Then by the time we've done that, I'm sure you will have received yours. And basically, I just submitted there. Yeah, no problem at all. No problem at all, Dan. I can fix it up on my end. I can, yes, not a drama at all. So what we're going to do now is walk through the Trainer Matrix document. And as we're doing this, I'm sure that you probably put two and two together that yesterday we set up some files or some folders on your computer there. So in the folders that you set up yesterday, you probably made the connection that the PD plan you can save to the folder that was called Awesome Parkley. You can save it to the folder that was called PD plan. All right. And the documents that I've just sent through now called the Trainer Matrix, you can probably save them in the folder called Trainer Matrix. All right. And if you are yet to set up those folders, maybe later on today you want to set up a folder called Trainer Matrix, or at least have a folder on your computer where you are saving these documents, right? Because you're going to get a lot of documents. And this is just a simple and efficient way to do it that time. So, yeah, I'm going to assume, and hopefully Strategic Bet, you've saved those documents in a folder and you're able to access them. So we got Parkley's got that document, fantastic. All right, so just drop a yes in the chat box if you can see the Trainer Matrix. If you just see the Trainer Matrix is on my screen, hopefully it's showing up on your screen. Awesome, thanks, Matt. Not sure about everyone else, but awesome. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to reveal something a little bit authentic to you, just to give you guys some context, because a Trainer Matrix is basically a document that proves and shows how you, i.e. in this case me, are keeping up to date and keeping up my knowledge about the units of competency that I actually teach. Yesterday, we created a PD plan for the future. PD plan for the future. But a trainer assessor currency matrix shows how I am staying up to date, or what I am doing, or what I have done in the past and currently, that would show that I have the skills and knowledge in relation to every unit of competency. Drop a yes in the chat box, that makes sense there. So PD plan is the future, and trainer assessor matrix and is ongoing, so to speak. It's ongoing. All right. And so it's on. Does the 2.1 version make a difference? Cool. Yeah, not sure what that means. Cool. Is that relation to my document, Parkley? Yeah, cool. No. It's just this is just an example to show you. All right. Basically, what I'm about to do is just set up some context for you, and that is all good. Have docs in proper folder. Legend, Susan. Fantastic. So, hopefully that's answered your question there, Parker. So basically, this document I'm about to show you is just an example of what you may see, what you could come across if you were working in an RTO and they had an expectation that you would fill one out. And what I'm about to do now is show you mine filled out. Now, technically I shouldn't, and technically it's my information, and technically, it's pretty revealing of me to do it. But I do like to do it just something that gives you a bit of a context and a reference point, and could look like if you had to create a really official document. Drop a yes in the chat box, that makes sense. And in no way, shape, or form am I going to expect you to replicate this in its entirety. But I just want to give you an example of what it can look like if you ever work in an RTO and they're like, yeah, currency matrix, get it done, show it, and all of that stuff there. So in my case, Matt, thank you for the yes. So in my case, we've got name, TAE, that's the area, and then October and all of that. So we come down and it's got training, preparation, delivery. And basically I've put in the key job, role and responsibilities. I've listed them all out there. All right, so assessment, practice, administration, compliance, and we've got comments there about being doing the right things, following the standards, and all of that fun stuff there. All right. Then we're going to come down and vocational training area areas delivered and assessed. All right. So here I've actually listed every single unit of competency that I actually train and deliver. All right. And as part of the TA16, and also there's a couple other units that I do that are not mentioned that I do need to add, but we got the TA16 then we got the TA 50111, which is a diploma. And so that was the old diploma, and I used to train and assess that. And there's still, some times where I do that. I got TA 50116. All right. So I just want to check in to make sure, can everyone see? Just drop a yes if you can see that all the units are actually listed here from every course that I train and deliver. Right? Because we just need to capture that concept there. All right. Cool. Because this is the extent that an RTO can expect you to go to, right? So then we come down and we got section 2, training and assessment skills. And here we've got basically the qualifications that I've got in relation to training and assessing. And there's certainly a couple of others that I could list there, but just showing you an example here. And then we've got facilitated qualifications related to units of competency. Now, I'm revealing a little bit of stuff here, but Diploma of Management, Bachelor of International Business, Master's of Applied Linguistics, Diploma of Vet, Diploma of Training and Design, Cert for Small Business Management, and there's other qualifications I've got, but I haven't listed. There's other courses I've been to, but I haven't listed them. And a lot of non-vet stuff, but here's the vet stuff basically. All right. So that's all listed there. And then if we come down, vocational currency, and this is kind of a record of stuff that I've done over period of time over the last 12 months. Can't remember exact dates, right? But we've got vocational currency, we've got the thing, we've got naming organization there. Then attended VEL conference, all that kind of stuff there, what I've done. And then we come down and with currency in relation to training and assessment skills. And basically, I have listed every single unit of competency. And then to the right of that, I have listed a PD event or a thing that I read or a thing that I do to keep my currency up for that unit of competency. Just go ahead, drop a smiley face in the chat box because it's kind of making sense in regards to the degree and the extent that you go to in mapping it all out there. All right. So if we come down, we've got TAE 22 units and all of this here, right? So you're going to experience different levels of requirements for this trainer matrix at different RTOs. But I'm just showing you this to see the extent that RTOs can expect you to have. And at an audit, an RTO is expected to be able to produce a trainer matrix for every trainer that is on board and is working for them, right? So don't be surprised if when you start an RTO, they say, oh, yeah, send us a copy of your trainer matrix and send us a copy of your PD records because, it's just part of being a trainer there. Just drop a H in the chat box. That was helpful for you to look at mine and just get a reference point for you there. And just so that you kind of get a sense, right? But know that we're not going to expect you to make it to that level, and that is all good there. All right. So next thing that we're going to have a look at is I'm just going to bring this up. All right. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to bring up the document called Trainer Assessor Currency Matrix. And let's go with the documents called Notes Added. Let's open the one called Notes Added. If you could find that one, that would be great. If you can find the one that says Notes Added. I think there's a question in the chat box there. Just a moment. Do you need to attach proof of evidence? Eileen, great question. Great question. How do I put this? You don't need to attach it, but there is an expectation that you have it, if that answers the question, right? So if you are asked for it, then you're expected to be able to produce it. So, for example, if you said, I went to XYZ webinar, well, there's kind of an expectation that in your PD folder that you have a copy of the certificate of attendance or you have a copy of the email that shows that you went to it or, proof of attendance, so to speak. That's kind of how I do it. And you don't necessarily have to attach it, but there's kind of like, all right, well, do you have proof of that? The other thing is, some organizations, there'll be an extra column that will say how are you proving them, or what records do you have for that item there. Hopefully that makes sense there for you, Eileen. But basically, every RTO is a little bit different, but you are going to come across the PD requirements there. Awesome. So if you've got the document open, if you just type the word open in the chat box, that would be great. Awesome. All right, cool. We got some people that got it open. Fantastic. Awesome. All right, so we've got this open now. So let's fill it out together. So where it says your name, guess what? You're going to put in your name. So if your name is Bill Smith, let's go with Bill Smith. But if your name is Daniel, well, you're going to put in Daniel. All right, so once you've done that, drop a D in the chat box. Let me know that you've done your name. Not too hard, folks. Let's get our names in there. Thanks, Barkley. Thanks, Daniel. Awesome. All right, cool. So to the right of that, we have nursing. All right. So I've just put that as an example. And basically, you're going to drop in the area that you train in. So I believe, let's go with Daniel. So in your case, you could type in construction. If someone's working in corrections, then you could type in corrections. If someone's working in Aboriginal and Indigenous affairs or whatever it may be, you can type in Indigenous studies, and that would be cool. But if anyone's struggling on that, let me know. But if it's mining, then you'll put in mining. And folks, I won't keep saying it. I mean, I will, but to a degree, eventually you'll just get into the habit. Just drop a D in the chat box once you've done that industry there. Yeah, thanks, Barclay. Thanks, Alicia. Awesome. All right, to the right of that, we have a place for the date. Go ahead, drop in today's date, which is, I believe, the 23rd of January. And yes, tomorrow is a birthday of someone. Well, so go ahead, drop the date in. And I am going to, yeah, thanks, Mark. Cool. So then we've got training and preparation and delivery. All right. So if I was going to fill this out, I mean, prepare and deliver training on. So if I'm just going to put my head into Daniel's mind for just a moment, prepare and deliver training on hand tools, or building a boat, or building a shed, or prepare and deliver training on safety in the construction environment. Daniel, is this kind of making sense what I'm saying here? So basically, we're just putting overall topics that we would present and train people on. For the corrections people, you would prepare and deliver training on restraints, or prepare and deliver training on cell searches, those kind of things. Or it could be prepare and deliver training on basic business skill, like for the person that's doing business stuff, you'll put in basic business skills, business document, whatever it may be. Drop a yes in the chat box if you're following along what I mean by that. Prepare and deliver training on blah blah. It could be whatever topic that you would possibly deliver training on. Thank you, Matt. All right. So in Matt's case, possibly it's putting out fires, operating pumps, saving people from burning buildings, all that fun stuff. Sounds like I'm describing an episode of Fire Country. Great show. Really enjoying it. I know that Kyle is a huge fan of Fire Country. Okay, so before we go any further, what we are going to do, we're just going to take a pit stop moment. And what I would like you to do is you can do it now or you can do it later, but now is better. What I'd love you to do is go up to the file and click Save As and click and save it as Matrix, first name, last name. So what that means is if your name is Bill Smith, save it as Matrix Bill Smith. Or if your name is Daniel, then you would save it as Matrix and then Daniel, and I apologize, I haven't remembered your last name yet. Or if your name is Matt Brown, then it would be Matrix Matt Brown. All right, so when we come to save it, that's what we'll be saving it as. And once you've saved it, drop an S in the chat box, let me know that you saved it. Or if you're choosing to save it later, then you can save it later, but ideally save it as that, because that's going to be super helpful for you to find and easily upload. Cool. Okay. All right, so I just want to catch that before we move on any further. So next thing we've got is the assessment practice. All right, so now I do need to pop a bubble of stress for you at the moment. When I look at this document or when I assess this document, there is no right or wrong on this. There's no right or wrong on this. Does that make sense? Drop a yes in the chat box. That makes sense. I am not going to fail you because you don't answer one of these things correctly. All right. You're like, oh, that's good. Right. I'm not going to fail you. What we're going through here is basically just one particular approach. And we're going to make sure all of the sections are filled out to the best of our ability. But if you've got something wrong here in training, preparation, and delivery, or assessment practice, and you don't understand, that's cool. It's not a biggie at all. All right. But hopefully training, preparation, and delivery, you've got it sorted. What I would like to do is just check in with some people. Could you drop in the chat box, what is one thing that you've listed here with training, preparation, and delivery? What's one topic or something that you've listed in that first box here up the top? Drop in the chat box. What have you listed? Correction services, have you listed like cell searches? Pat searches, beautiful. Command and control, beautiful. All right, awesome. I'll wait for a few more people. Use of vehicles, awesome. Thanks, Mark. I love it. Safety in the workplace, awesome. Yeah, awesome. Eileen Creditors, health and safety, awesome. Love it. Great work, team. What I would say is if you can have a minimum of 3, that's going to be good. Don't just have 1. That would be insufficient. All right. So make sure you got 3. If you got 3, drop a 3 in the chat box and let me know that you got 3 there. That'd be great. Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Daniel. Yeah, sounds good, Eileen. Yeah, beautiful, Matt. Awesome. If I was doing it, I'd be listing TAE 16, TAE 22, diploma, and then what else? The ETAS course that we run, advanced facilitation workshop, and is there anything else that I do? Yeah, occasionally do an upgrade. Yeah, those would be the kind of things I'd list. So awesome. So now we're going to come down and we're going to check out assessment practice. All right. So if you assess any task, assess people on. So in this case, I'm going to imagine that I work in the corrections world. So it could be cell searches. It could be what else? Laws and legislation. And it could be command control, and it could be security systems. Cool. So assessment practice, go ahead and drop in 3 or 4 things that you would assess people on in your workplace or in the future if you were working in an RTO. So if you're in the mining sector, you can say assessment practice, assessing people on using the forklift or using the truck or using the digger or using the whatever. And if you list like 3, that would be epic if you could do that for me. And once you've done that, then drop a D for done. Thanks, Susan. Thanks, Daniel. Oh, legend, Eileen. Awesome. Very cool. Very cool. And technically, well, theoretically, technically, the assessment practice is going to mirror what's above in the training delivery section, but it could be a little bit different because within the topics, there could be things that are listed in the assessment practice side of things. All right, hopefully that makes sense there. So compliance, we've got compliance duties include checking documents, getting ready for audits, and that is all completed there for you. So now we're going to come down and we can see we got TLID 0020 shift materials safely using it and handling methods, blah, blah. All right, so what we're going to do is I am going to delete that. Once you have deleted that, go ahead and drop a, let's go another D for deleted into that section there. So all you're doing is deleting what was there and you are deleting it. Once you deleted it, that'd be great. Okay, so now I'm going to ask you a question that's going to draw upon seeing if you remember what we did yesterday and see if you remember. So here, what we're going to do is we are actually going to drop in the name of the course that you deliver or could deliver And yesterday, I think with Parkley, we said it was going to be the Cert 3 in corrective services. Okay, corrective services. I think for Daniel, we said the Cert 1 or the Cert 2 in construction. Can't remember exactly what it was. So whatever qualification we landed upon yesterday, you're going to drop in there if you could, please. So 3 in corrective services or whatever it may be. Matt, if you remember, I think it was the emergency service. Can't remember exactly what we chose. Hopefully you remember. Yeah, public safety. Awesome. Thanks, Matt. Cool. Awesome. Once you've dropped in the qualification that you do or that we looked at yesterday, drop it done in the chat box. Let me know that you're done. Yeah, Eileen, just be careful with that one though, because that's from what I know, that's only a unit of competency. It's not a qualification. So you may want to adjust that. I'm not sure what's inspired you putting that unit in there. So if you want to pick a qualification, which I prefer that you did, so let's go certificate 4 in business would be a good choice. Sure. So that is the link to the certificate 4 in business. That one maybe one that you could use there because I don't. Yeah, cool. So what you put in the chat box there is a unit of competency, but we want to focus on entire qualification there, if that kind of makes sense. Yeah, no problem at all, Ali. No problem. Awesome. So we're going to come down and we are going to check out section 2, training and assessment skills. All right, what I would love you to do is I am just going to do that and I'm going to do that. So we've got section here, it says yes and TA22 spec training and put in date of estimated completion. So go ahead, drop in the date of estimated completion for you, and it could be let's put it in 6 months' time, or yeah, it's probably a good time frame to put there. So you can put 23rd of whatever it is in 6 months' time. Once you've done that, you know what to do, folks. So we'll go spec training, and then let's go estimated completion date 23rd of I don't know. And then date, let's go 23rd of, what are we today? Awesome. Once you fill that out, drop a D for done and let me know that you're done. Thanks, Barkley. Thanks, Mark. Thanks, Matt. Thanks, Daniel. Awesome. So coming down, let's check out the next section, which says facilitator qualification relating to units of competency. So hopefully you can see it on the screen there, but we've basically got an example. We've got Bachelor of Medicine. Now, naturally, in your case, that won't be the case. But we've got basically we're listing the qualifications that we have, and you may have, I don't know, a cert 3 in business or a cert 4 in business. You may have one thing or a couple of things here. And then we've got date you got it approximately. And then it says copy and paste from TGA. I'm not worried about that. And in here, we're just going to write in relation to knowledge for the units, right? And then it says scan on file, yes or no. You can just leave that blank. That's totally fine, right? So we got Bachelor of Medicine. If I was putting my Daniel hat on, I might say, I'm not sure what Daniel's got, but maybe he's got a Certificate 2 in construction. And then maybe he got that 3 years ago. So he's just going to imagine the date and he's just going to make up the date. And then he's going to put it relates to the units of competency there. Daniel may also have, I don't know, maybe he's done a course in coaching and maybe he coaches his local soccer team and he's got a qualification in coaching, right? I don't know, but go ahead, drop in maybe one or two qualifications that you possess that would relate to your current industry and what you could teach or do teach now. So for the people doing corrections, well, you could drop in. Maybe you've got a Cert 3 in corrective services, or maybe you are working towards a diploma of corrective service. I don't know. Hopefully that makes sense. So go ahead and drop one or two qualifications and then make up the date. Don't go to your resume and try and find the exact date too much. Just, let it go, let it flow. So, maybe it was 3 years ago, whenever it may be. And then you can leave these statements there related to the units and then scan on file. Yes or no, just leave that blank there. Hopefully that makes sense. And I'll just give you about 3 minutes to drop in the Nova qual that you got, or a couple of quals. Yeah, Daniel, absolutely no. Absolutely no. No, 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 no. So Daniel's question was, do we need to put all the units of competency? No, not at all. So I'm just looking for the overall qual. So if you've got a cert 3 in something or a cert 4 in something, just put that and then just drop in the day. And then in relation to qualifications delivered, just put that statement or leave that statement in relation to the units, relates to the knowledge of the units. Hopefully that makes sense there. And yeah, but you don't need to list the units. Otherwise, we'll be here for a couple of hours. And feel free to respond to that. If that makes sense. Yeah, no problem at all. Thanks. Awesome. Thanks, Alicia. Thanks, Barclay. Awesome. All right, cool. So we will come down to the next section, and hopefully this is making sense for you. Hopefully you are appreciating the guidance on how to fill it out. So we're going to come down. We've got the vocational currency. Now, the way that I've kind of summed up here is work history. How do you stay current in your knowledge? Where have you worked over the last 5 years? All right. So what I would love you to do is you are going to, I guess, fill it out in entirety later. But what I mean by that is here, if you could just drop in let's drop it in here. We're going to put in the name of 3 places you have worked over last 5 years, right? Or it could be the only one place. That's totally fine as well. But you're going to put in the name of the place, and then here you're going to put the date, and then duties performed. So I was responsible for blah blah. All right. Does that make sense, folks? At this point, all I'd like you to do is just answer where, and then where, and then where. All right. So name of company, name of company, name of company. So at this point, all we're going to do is just drop in the name of the place where you've worked, 1, 2, 3, and we only need 3 at this point. So just drop in the name of where you've worked, or it could just be 1 place, 2 places, I don't know. But just drop that in there, and that's going to be a placeholder and a reminder to come back to it later. Because if you ask me, what dates did you work at here to here, I'd be like, I don't know, I'm going to make that up. So I appreciate that right now you may not know the dates, but all I'd like you to do is just drop in name of company, name of company, name of company, and then drop in I was responsible for, and it's going to be a placeholder and remind you to come back and fill that out later. Drop a yes in the chat box, that kind of makes sense. And all you need to do is just drop in the names of 3 places where you've worked, and that'll be cool. So the other way to look at this is vocational currency. So, for example, someone may be a trainer delivering training, but also, for example, in their free time, they may do some volunteer work. All right. So this is where you may also include volunteer work, or if you do some part-time shifts, maybe you work in the security industry and you're training security on the weekends or during the week. You may do a couple of shifts in the security world, right? So all of this shows that you are up to date and you have the knowledge for your units there. Awesome. So you can come back and fill that out later on. All right, and let me just fix this terrible typo there. All right, cool. So then we're going to come down and we're going to check out this section here. Now, this section, currency in relation to training and assessment skills, there. All right, and basically, as I've got the heading there, it says PD activities that you've done to keep your knowledge up to date in your industry, 3 things from the last 6 months. All right. So as we said yesterday, the PD plan is a future document. The trainer matrix is more of a past document and a reflection on what you've already done over the last 6 months or last 12 months, kind of. So here, hopefully you can see by the example, we got webinar on using XYZ technology. All right, 3rd of July 2023, 1 hour, and he helped me understand the equipment better. All right, so if I was Daniel, I could write in here webinar on safe work in the workplace, right? And he could drop in a date and then length of time, 1 hour, and then what it taught him or what he learned from it. Now, Daniel could also write internal staff meeting. All right, or he could write read journal article on XYZ. All right. So here again, like last time, we got space for 3 items. So as long as you fill out 3 items, that's the most important thing, right? So a bit of a leading question, but do you all feel comfortable to be able to fill out 3 items here that you may have done over the last 6 months in your workplace, or even further back if you need to go back 12 months. Drop a yes in the chat box. You feel comfortable to add some like 3 things here that even if you didn't do them, you could imagine that you did do them and drop that in there. So maybe it was a webinar, maybe you read something, maybe you attended something, maybe it was a staff meeting or whatever it may be. So 3 ways that you contributed or built knowledge for your industry. I think, Matt, in your case, you'd probably be having regular toolbox talks or updates on legislation in the fire world and all that kind of stuff there. So what you'll be doing tonight for homework, and it shouldn't take you very much time at all, is basically you'll fill out this section here, vocational currency. You'll drop in the names of the 3 places you've worked for, your duties, and that should probably take you about 10 minutes, all right? No longer than 10 minutes. If you're taking longer than 10, you're probably spending way too long on that. Then we come down and you're going to drop in 3 things here. And again, that should probably take you maybe 5 or 10 minutes at the most, all right? So we've given you enough guidance there to be able to fill that out and just get it done, right? So once you fill that out, we then come back to our the old Moodle, and I'm just going to bring up the magical Moodle again one more time, and let me bring this up. All right, cool. So bring it up, Moodle, and hopefully you can see it. Let me just make sure that you can see it. Yep. All right, cool. So then you're simply going to come to Practical Project and you're going to drag and drop those files into here and then click upload, and the first Practical Project is done. All right. Once you've done the PD plan and the trainer matrix, then you can submit, and you can click upload, submit, and you are good to go. If you have any dramas or challenges with submitting, just let me know and I can support you through that process. But it's fairly self-explanatory. Just drag and drop the file in here. All right. And that is pretty much it. As I said earlier today, reminder, if you do upload, please shoot me an email. Say, Mark, just uploaded my trainer matrix and PD plan, and then I'll go in and mark it and give you some feedback and let you know if there's any dramas. But that is basically the trainer matrix. I'm just going to come back to this document here, and let me just bring it up on the script. Awesome. Does anyone have any questions about the trainer matrix and how to fill it out, folks? If anyone's got, do you want them saved as a PDF, Parkley? No. No. They don't have to be a PDF. But great question. Thank you for asking. Cool. Any other questions about the trainer matrix? Cool. If there's no questions, drop a no, I'm all good. Or, yeah, I've got a question either way. Because if you ask a question, I'm just going to stand here and wait for a response. So, yeah, thanks, Mark. Thanks, Alicia. Awesome. Thanks, Eileen. And all good. Awesome. Thanks, Matt. Okay, so I will remind you or encourage you that there's actually not that much to do, and I would be very surprised if you didn't submit it by the end of today. Like when I say today, I mean probably like 5 or 6 o'clock tonight. I'd be expecting to see submissions coming through for the PD plan and for this, because PD plan's already done. So tonight is just a case of going in here, fixing the vocational currency and writing that in, and then it is the whenever you attended those PD events, and you should be good there. All right. So yeah, I'd be surprised if that ended up being something you submitted, in weeks' time, because it's like pretty easy to knock off there. As you're going through it, if you do have any questions, just let me know. Reach out, and yeah, all good there. Awesome. Thank you for the message, Adrian. On that note, folks, by my clock, it's 10:40. We are going to take a break, and we're going to come back. Let's come back at 10:55, if that's okay with you. I'll see you back here at 10:55. During that time, I'll be shooting through an email, so look out for that. But back at 10:55. Thank you. See you very shortly, 10:59.